Geo-11.1 Circumference and Arc Length. By the end of today's lesson, we will be able to find arc lengths and other measures. The circumference is the distance around the circle. And the formula to calculate the circumference is given by c equals 2 pi r, or pi d. The arc length refers to the portion of the circumference of a circle. So, if I have a circle, the arc length could be any portion of the entire circumference. Theorem 11.8, circumference of a circle. The circumference c of a circle is c equals pi d, or c equals 2 pi r, where d is the diameter of the circle, or r is the radius of the circle. So d is the diameter, r is the radius. So I'm going to write the formula again here. Example 1. Find the indicated measure. Part A. Circumference of a circle with radius 11 meters. So we can just take the formula, c equals 2 pi r, and substitute r in for 11 to get 22 pi. And you could leave your answers or answer in terms of pi. Part B, radius of a circle with a circumference of 18 yards. So we want to find the radius, then 18 equals 2 pi r. And radius will just be 9 over pi. Okay, technically we don't want to leave our answers of pi in the denominator, but for now, I'll let you guys do this, unless you get to use the calculator for the test. Example 2, Part A. The dimensions of the skateboard wheel shown below are in millimeters. To the nearest meter, how far does the wheel travel when it takes or makes 35 revolutions? So we need to first calculate the diameter of this wheel. So that would be taking 15 plus double 20, and that would be 55 millimeters. And to calculate the circumference, we can take pi times 55, and since this is a word problem, it'd be better that you use your calculator and take 55 times pi to get a decimal number, and we will round it to the nearest hundredths. And the total distance traveled, so this is diameter, so will equal to number of revolutions times circumference. So this would be 35 times 172.79, which would equal to about 6,048 millimeters. And then we want it in meters, so this would be 6.048 meters. Part B. A skateboard wheel has a diameter of 56 millimeters. How many revolutions does the wheel make when traveling 3 meters? So Since we want it in meters, I need to convert 56 into meters, which is 0.056. Okay, so I want to know the number of revolutions. So using the same formula here, I need to calculate the number of revolutions. So this would be my x. And then I will put 3 here. So then the number of revolutions will simply be 3 divided by 0.056, which is about 53.57, or you can just write 54 revolutions. The arc length corollary. In a circle, the ratio of the length of a given arc, so the length of this, to the circumference, meaning the distance around the circle, this part, so you go to this part, is equal to the ratio of the measure of the arc. So the measure of the arc, so this is measure of the arc is measured in degrees, to 360 degrees, meaning around the circle. So this part refers to this part. So if these two ratios equal to each other, I can move 2 pi r to the right hand side of this equation and get this formula. Whenever you want to find the arc length of a given arc, such as arc AB, you can simply take the measure of the arc AB divided by 360 and times 2 pi r. So it would be good to remember this formula. Example 3. Find the indicated measure. Part A. Arc length of AB. Since we know that the central angle measure of APB is 88 degrees, then we know that the measure of the arc AB is also 88 degrees. So I can take 88 degrees and put it over 360 degrees and multiply this by 2 pi r. And our radius is 2 meters. So using your calculator, you should get about 3.07 meters. And for B, I want to let 12.3 be the radius. And then to find the measure of arc RS, I'm given the length of this arc. This is the length of arc RS. So I can use the proportion arc length over 2 pi r, and we can set it equal to the measure of arc RS and put it over 360. And again, by using your calculator, the measure of the arc RS should be about 177 degrees. Make sure you label your answer with the degree symbol. And part C, let's practice calculating the arc length again. So we're given the central angle of 97 degrees. So we can put 97 over 360 times 2 pi r. And that's about 6.77 feet. And then D wants you to find the circumference of circle Z. And then we're given the arc length of XY and the central angle measure. So we could do 3.44 over the circumference equal to 60 degrees over 360 degrees. and circumference would be about 20.64 centimeters. Example 4. A conveyor belt for luggage at an airport is shown below. The outer part of the belt forms a 180 arc at each end. So this would be 180 degrees. For each arc, the radius is 8 feet. Approximate the distance around the belt for a coin on the outer portion. So we want to look at the outer section of the belt. So the distance will be given by twice the length of each straight section plus twice the length of each semicircle. So since this is 20, this is also 20. Twice 20 plus twice, so this is half a circle, half times 2 pi, the radius is 8. So I can cancel 2 and 2, a pair of 2's, and do 40 plus about 50.27 after you use a calculator, and this would be about 90.27 feet.